don't even know how to begin this. I don't know how to do one of these videos. I don't want to disrespect anybody. I don't want to misconstrue anybody's. I just don't want to say the wrong thing to offend them, but to not offend anybody, because this video is not supposed to be offensive. It's just supposed to be giving you guys information and tools to help you see what's actually going on. And it's sad, it really is. Even though I don't talk about stuff like this on my channel, even though I do want to, it's just that I just don't want people thinking that I'm just doing it for clicks or for views or for subscribers, because I could care less as long as it resonates with people. That's all I care about. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to like this video, just sit and listen, because this is a serious thing going on and it's crazy. I always have discussions about discrimination and self-hate with my older sister. Like every time we see each other now, we always have to get down to, we seen something that is downright disgusting, and we always talk about it. And it just gets us hot and it just infuriates us to the core, because it's just disgusting. It's just the way I could put it. I don't know how people can act this way, and for, you know, to just be brushed underneath the carpet most of the time. Being a black person, period, you've experienced some type of racism. So I don't know to the extent of Americans, British people, Australians, other parts of the continent that are bigger, because obviously you guys have watched my other channels. You know that I'm from the Bahamas, and it's a predominantly black community. It's predominantly black people. So I've grown up with just seeing a bunch of black people and not seeing a bunch of white people. So I haven't experienced racism as far as Americans go, but I have experienced that, and I just want to talk down to the video. I didn't think I would have a lot to say, but after watching two videos from two of my favorite YouTubers, it's Keisha and V, they both made a video around the same time, and I'm just like, I have to say something, because I just feel like if I don't, I'm just enabling it, and it's showing people who watch me that, oh, I don't know what's going on, or I don't care about the black people, unless far from it. I care about my race so much. I'm so proud and happy that whoever created me, whoever you believe in, made me black. I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want any other race but to be black, and I'm serious. But this video isn't about me, this is about what went down. And if you see me looking down, it's because I made notes, because I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure that I got everything off my chest. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So I have certain things that I want to talk about. Obviously, George Floyd. That was, I don't even know how to put it into words. So when I saw the video, it made me gag, because it was so disgusting. How could you, the officer, I'm not going to name his name because he doesn't deserve my time of day. The officer, well, I say officers, but the main officer who I'm talking about, you know, in the video he said that you could clearly see that the black man, George, tripped. And I don't know if the officer was like, oh, he's trying to escape, but he put his knee on the back of his neck, and you could hear in the video him clearly saying that, I can't breathe, please, I can't breathe. And he continued to, you know, basically choke him to death for 8 minutes, and then he was unconscious for 3 minutes, and then the ambulance finally arrived and they checked his pulse 3 times and he was pronounced dead. This should have gotten first-degree murder, but because of white privilege, because he's a cop, because he was on duty, he only got third-degree murder. I don't know what the difference is between that, but I can clearly see that it will be significantly less than what he was supposed to get. If the roles were reversed, if it was a black cop and a white man, it would have been far more severe than what actually happened. and it just disgusts me because I can't imagine being that person. They interviewed his girlfriend. I couldn't imagine being the girlfriend and hearing that. I couldn't imagine being the man's family and hearing that, and outrage broke out, and it totally deserved to. 48 hours, they said, everybody got enraged and all of that, and you're making this persona like they have no reason to be mad. Why wouldn't they have a reason to be mad? If it was it's just sad. It just saddens me because obviously I don't want to spend, it's gonna sound cruel, but I don't just want to spend the rest of my life in the Bahamas. I want to move away to maybe LA or Florida, but I don't want to go to a state where I don't feel welcome by the people who live there. I don't want to feel excommunicated. I don't want to feel how George felt, that he was all alone and this white man is just, assuming things about him. They said that the reason why he was arrested because of a $20 counterfeit bill. So you're telling me that this man lost his life because of a $20 counterfeit bill? And someone in the comment section of that video said that they just said that that bill wasn't actually counterfeit. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is true, then that's even more disgusting because I don't want to say he didn't lose his life for nothing, because this just speaks volumes to what's happening. I just don't know how to feel about that, because I couldn't even imagine that being my dad, him losing his life because he's perceived as that way. Because my dad is a tall 6'3" black man. He's respectable, he's educated, and he's a loving man, and I'm not gonna let anybody tell me any differently. My dad has been a part of my life despite what people think of black men. My dad has been the center of my world since the day I was born. He took care of me to now, and it's just disgusting that people think that black men aren't there. Maybe if you stop arresting, shooting, killing them, they might be there. They might not have this fear that they're gonna get punished for being respectable. And before I go any further, I just want to say, if you guys just come here to spread hate, to just presume that I'm just here to be angry, to be the angry black girl, and that I don't know anything, please click off. Please do yourself a favor, count to 3, breathe, and click off the video. I don't want to hear it. If I see any comments about me hating or me just making this video out of, I don't know, whatever your construed mind thinks, please click off. Please, I'm telling you, click off the video. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. That's all you can do. Click off the video. So the next one I want to talk about is Amy Cooper. I heard this story from V, but I heard both stories from both the channels that I watched. Amy Cooper was a woman who made false allegation on a black man because he was in a park watching birds. That's a park meant for watching birds, and the sign clearly says, if you have a dog, put him on a leash, and Amy Cooper did not have her dog on a leash. So the man clearly just walked up calmly and said that, hey, can you please put your dog on a leash? And she freaked out. She said, I'm calling the police. And that's when he took out his phone, because he knew if he didn't have the proof to back it up, he was going to get arrested. So he got his phone out, recorded the whole incident, and once I believe the video, once she got off the phone and everything, that's when the man was like, let me just leave because this is getting ridiculous. And I don't know if he posted the video and that's how they found out, or I don't know how the video got out there, but I'm glad that it did, because it shows that it's not just Amy Cooper, it's everybody. And Amy Cooper, like everybody else, thinks that if you're white, people are going to believe you, and that's what her mind was saying, that, oh, I'm white, he's black. If I just lie and say that this man was harassing me, it's going to be believable, and that is not right, not correct at all. It is correct because it would have happened if he didn't record, but I'm just saying the incident itself is not, it's just not right at all. She knew what she was doing, and for her just to like apologize and just to make it better, it clearly speaks volume to white privilege, which is a thing. If you don't think white privilege is a thing, then you're obviously white, or you have white friends and you think that you're white because of those white friends, then you obviously think that way. So I don't know if it was some type of lawyer, I believe, who was saying that this type of stuff happens all the time, and it could have gotten so much more serious than if he didn't record it, because he could have gotten arrested, gotten sentenced and all of that, sentence I believe, and he could have, the money for bail would have been way too much for him to pay. He's gonna be in holding, spending X amount of days, months, even years sometimes. That's what she was saying, and I was just like, wow, all because of an accusation that wasn't even true. And you can see in the video that when she's making the phone call, she's like, obviously she's choking a dog, and thank God the dog has been taken away. She's lost her job, even though she deserves to be locked up at least for a couple of months, because making false accusations to the police have very serious consequences. But the worst she got was a slap on the wrist, obviously, and you can clearly see that she's hooking the leash onto the dog. So when the police arrives, they're gonna be like, oh, my dog was always on a leash, I don't know what you're talking about. She's gonna play the dumb role and play the victim, which is absolutely ridiculous. I just don't understand it. And while I was researching these two videos, I came across other videos. One instance was a boy and his grandmother being white and him being black. They got pulled over, they arrested the guy, and then you can clearly see the officer taking out a gun, and he approached the grandmother and saying that, and the grandmother's like, that's my grandson, and he's like, that's your grandson? He's like, that is my grandson. And then they made up this story about, oh, they got a tip off by these two people who left, who told them that there were like a white woman and two guys who just robbed the place, and that's why they pulled him over. And then the guy had the audacity to tell the black person to be like, oh, it was just a misunderstanding, I'm sorry, it wasn't a misunderstanding, you were profiling me because of my race. That really did something to me when I saw that story, because my grandmother is a Kunky Joe. If you don't know the term Kunky Joe is basically you're black, but you look like you're white. That's what they mean by Kunky Joe. So my grandmother does look more white or more Hispanic. She doesn't really look black. So, and my dad is my skin tone. So I'm just thinking that, oh, what if they think my dad is kidnapping my grandmother just because she's darker? It's just ridiculous. I couldn't imagine that in a million years, but just the way the world is, it just makes me want to cringe, and just, it really is upsetting. It really is. I'm not trying to be it's so sad to say that me as a female, me as a black person, I can't express myself most of the time. I can't show that I'm upset. I can't show that I am human, because they're going to misconstrue it and say that, oh, she's just being the angry black girl, or let's not take her seriously. What she has to say isn't valid. What gives you the right to say that my opinion isn't valid if we're both humans? It's just ridiculous at this point. I just don't understand it. But like I said, I have notes here, so I don't want to miss anything. And then the next point I want to make is how Black Lives Matter was started. Okay, so yeah, Black Lives Matter was started in the summer of 2013 after George Zimmerman to death Trayvon Martin, and that's when the spark started, that they decided to make Black Lives Matter. Now, a lot of people think of Black Lives Matter like, oh, nobody else matters except for black people because we've been oppressed so much that nobody else matters. That is not the case. If the world was fair, obviously this wouldn't have to be a thing. Black people have been oppressed so much that we always, even the people who you think have the most confidence, second guess themselves. We can't just walk into the interview with our hair however we want because we're afraid that people won't take us professionally. Obviously, I'm natural, and yes, I have a fear that people are going to think my hair is unkept or not good enough for this job. It's just, it's sad to say, but it had to take a boy being shot to death for this movement to happen, and it shouldn't be the case. It really shouldn't have been the case at all. We wouldn't have to make, and when I mean we, I mean black people, we wouldn't have to protest, we wouldn't have to get angry, we wouldn't have to make a whole movement if y'all would just treat us how we want to be treated, which is just the basic human rights. And we don't have the basic human rights. It's disgusting. We really don't. People don't think we're progressing so much and we're getting so much done, but we're not. We really aren't. Only over the last 100 years has it been maybe moved a smidge. Women have rights, black people have rights. It just came. It literally just came. And I know you guys are gonna say you're from the Bahamas, you don't know anything. But when we do, and how I think about this is because when COVID-19 just came about in the Bahamas, and people were saying keep inside, wear masks, have 6 feet apart. And I remember watching this video from a guy. He's saying that people who work at the airports aren't allowed to wear masks, and this one I was just starting, aren't allowed to wear masks because it makes the tourists not want to come, or it makes it seem like we're not friendly. Why don't you care about your own people and let them wear a mask instead of worrying about money and what you can get from tourism? Obviously, from the Bahamas, tourism is the biggest industry in the Bahamas. We thrive off of people from other countries coming to our country to visit the sites and all that. But when you put all that above your own people and risk them getting COVID-19 and spreading it to other people and letting them die, we obviously don't have the resources that China, the States, other countries have. So when you put us at risk, it's not like, okay, we know what to do. No, we don't, because nurses, doctors, a lot of people have died who have been nurses and doctors because we don't have the resources. So when you put that in place, saying that you can't wear the mask, it's really just uneasy and unsettling. And thank God they, after a while, did let them wear the mask, but they should have let them wear the mask right away, without any questions, without any disagreements whatsoever. So when I think about that incident, I think about how they care more about what other people from other countries' well-being than their own country. And I don't know what could have been going on behind the scenes. I don't know if they were trying to do something other than that, but that's from an outsider looking in, how my perspective is about the situation. I was going to talk about Christopher Columbus, and the reason why I wanted to bring up Christopher Columbus, because growing up and hearing him, what he did to the Arawaks, if you guys don't know the story, you should open up a book, because obviously a little while back, Christopher Columbus Day got changed to National Heroes Day, and I'm so happy about that, because growing up I'm like, why are they praising a man who literally slaughtered black people, let his men rape black women, and you guys are making him making a day out of him celebrating Columbus? And when I heard that they were changing it, literally everybody in my school was happy, because my old school that I went through grade 6 to grade 12 was a school that was, in my opinion, the most woke out of any other school that I went to. It celebrated Black history. We studied the 42 principles of Ma'at. We celebrated our ancestry. We wore tashikis, sorry about that, because it's been a while, tashikis every Tuesday, every Monday on the month of February. We wore our tashikis proud, and it was beautiful. It's a beautiful African print. If you have never seen it, you should see it. And to go to a school that celebrates black people is so powerful, and it changed my view on a lot of things. I don't think I would have went natural if it wasn't for the school. I don't think I would have been confident as a black woman if I didn't go to school, because it celebrates us as us, and us and us thriving, and make sure that we thrived academically, that we got the best education, even though the hours were cruel. The hours were definitely interesting. It taught me a discipline that I didn't even know I had. So it's just, I wish more schools would be more open to those type of things and telling black people, obviously they don't say it directly, but they do it passive aggressively, like, oh, you can't wear dreads, or you can't wear braids, or you can't wear, you know, hair in a fro. Obviously all those things you directly you will have towards black people, obviously, you know. Yeah, a white person who's straight white, 100% white, is gonna walk into school with a fro, natural fro. Yeah, we think that. Thanks. Yeah, we're silly. We know. But yeah, I am happy that celebrities are talking about it. Celebrities are posting about it. Will Smith, I love him. He is so educated, and I just want to meet him one day. He's such a good person, and he said that, you know, black, it's not getting worse, it's just being recorded, and I feel like that's so powerful. Like the Amy Cooper incident, that totally, if that wouldn't have went down how it went down if he didn't record it, that man would probably be sitting in prison right now. Let's be real, if he didn't record what he did. I was scrolling through my Instagram. Zendaya, my girl Zendaya, she speaks about it all the time, and I'm so happy that she speaks about the discrimination. It's not afraid to speak up. She speaks about it a lot. We have Demi. I've seen her a couple times posting Black Lives Matter, and the post following it, Demi Lovato, she posts about it. So I'm glad that it's just not black celebrities talking. Oh, and also, sorry, my bad, Beyonce is talking about it. I just saw her long video talking about it, and I'm so happy that it's just not black people and black celebrities talking about it, because if just black celebrities were talking about it, yes, they are famous like Beyonce and Will Smith, but it wouldn't reach as much people if it wasn't also white people. Like, it can't just be black people talking about this issue, because the other races are gonna feel excluded, and they're not gonna want to be part of this, you know, movement, and they're gonna feel like all we care about is ourselves and black people. I'm glad that other races are talking about it, other races are bringing it up, and yeah, guys, that's all I really have to say about it. I know that I have been talking for a really long time, but I'm just tired of just being scared not to say my thoughts and opinions, and I hope that I can talk more about these issues on this channel and just speak up, because it's just crazy to me how this has happened for so long, and we have this preconceived notion that it's getting better, but it isn't. It's just crazy. I just don't understand it. I'm very much confused, but I just really hope, like I said, you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to like. If you want to dislike, exit out the video, because this is not a negative notation. This is just facts, straight up facts. This is not my opinion, this is fact. So if you don't like it, please click out the video. And one thing I want you guys to do is to share the video. Please comment down below if you've experienced any of these experience before, if you feel the way I feel about the situation, regardless of any race. I want you to talk about it in the comments. This is a loving comment section. If a white person wants to talk about their experience, about what they've seen us black people being treated as, let them. If a Hispanic person, if a Chinese, if an Asian person, let them speak, because we won't change the world with just us as a black people. We have to change the world with all of us together. So please let me know your comment, your thoughts down below. Sorry, I don't know, my nose has been stuffy all this video, but yeah, guys, like I said, make sure to share, and if you guys want to privately DM me, just DM me on Instagram. So yeah, guys, that's the video, and I really hope this resonates with you guys. So bye.